And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off in Shadow Empire. At the bottom of round 251 has Steel Land, where we have 7 decisions. Discovered hydroponic fertilization. Oh, there's another corp tech. He wants to get to a thing. Oh, I'll accept. I might regret doing that, but accept. Yep. Take the one that drops both of those. Not really in the custom information form right now. We want merit. Don't really want mind, but we want merit. Shift port. Let's offer them free tech, because we need to get their opinion up. So if we can get their opinion up to 100 at this point, there's a decent possibility that they'll try to sign an alliance with us. Once we have an alliance with them, we can make arrangements for them to become unified with us. Okay, so got those units moved up. Can I bribe? Who are you talking about with the bribe? There's lots of people I can bribe in the game, so without you specifying which ones, I don't know who you're talking about. Those miners I'm trying to annex. Well, to a certain degree, that's what I am doing with the Xenos. So, Mammoth's territory down here, and the other one I'm trying to annex. So the Xeno aliens, yes, you can unify with them. It's a bit tedious. So to reliably do it, you got to learn their language, which we've apparently just finished with both of them. In fact, actually, if you see all the Xeno troops that I have up here, all these Xeno troops, that's from unifying with one of them. You do it a slightly different way than you do normally, right? So normally with a miner, you come up, you get a protectorate or a client state with them, and then once you have that client state or protectorate with them, you can do unification on them. The Xenos are all via the Xeno diplomat. So once you learn their language well enough, if you have their relations at 100, they can offer to sign an alliance with you, which is basically the same as offer protection or offer client state. Once you have that alliance, when you do a Xeno diplomat with them, you'll be offered the option to ask them to join you, which is basically the unify card. And depending upon how you roll, they either accept or they don't. They're much more likely to accept if you completely mutually understand each other's languages, which we now do with both of those guys. So now we just need to get their opinion up to the point where they'll sign an alliance with us.
Affirmative.
Yeah, the language barrier can be very RNG, and it's expensive to do, and depending on your game speed, it can take a while. Well, I say depending on your game speed depends on what you have the time to take, I suppose, and maybe a different way of thinking of it. I don't think it takes any longer on slow than fast. But everything else goes faster and fast, so you're much more likely to not have the time to take. Okay, so the second brigade is able to come across, so we can start sending. I'll say the second. This is the fifth actually coming across, but the next brigade is coming across. Alright, so we got the whole brigade across. And victory overview-wise, we're still in second, though we're really creeping up on that line where we're going to overtake the podium.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Standing by. Roger that. Roger that.
Yeah, I totally understand the frustration and taking out the fact that they're not negotiating with you by taking them over. Okay, commercial project out. Oh, you already got level 3 of that asset. We got level 3 across there, yeah. Level 3 is all across there. Do that zone next. Then here we have makeshift port that we want to nationalize. Okay. And we do want some money, so we've got to sell something to make money. Big pile of metal. Actually, do a big pile of rare earth metal. Yeah.
Affirmative.
Oh, we do have a bunch of colonists, so do we have places where we can send colonists that need colonists? So you don't give this place any of these places need it? No. You're good with the workers. You're fine with the workers. You have a worker shortage. Could we give you some colonists? No. Say, actually, no, you got enough workers. You have enough workers. You, in fact, have too many workers. You presumably just finished construction of something. Yeah, you just finished construction of the truck station. Oh, it's the colony. Okay. I have more political power, but we're gonna hold on to that. Cycle the turn. Now, to be fair, I don't think it's immediately apparent that you can unify with the Xenos. Because I think the first time I unified with them was completely by accident. I didn't realize that that was a option until they just looking at the list of options. Like, wait, that's an option? Because I'd learned their language enough. Because I was thinking, oh, they're offering mercs. Let me learn their language and then try to upgrade their weapons so we can get good mercs. And all of a sudden, because I was recruiting mercs, I'd raised their opinion high enough that they were willing to sign an alliance and then unify with me, and that was actually a bit of a surprise. Wasn't exactly expecting that the first time I did that, but that wasn't on stream, so that's not that attempt was not visible for anyone else. That was just a me thing. Okay. No, don't tell me. Well, we don't necessarily mind if they come ashore, but we'd rather be in a position to rapidly respond and kick them back into the ocean if they come ashore. Anyway, so if they come across and go on that tile, that'll be annoying, but it'll be fine. We can kick them off the land from there. Okay, so we can move a little bit more before we start that. Ancient weapons triggered in columns. That's not great. Yeah, you have whatever you need to prevent that from going bad.
Yes, sir.
Critical success. Plus some people, but mostly nothing. They would like to focus more on expanding the fleet and long-term investments. No, we'll support the current Elder's position. Offer them free tech or give them credits as a gift. It'll mean who the alien is. We'll offer them free tech.
Roger that.
Yeah, so these guys are the ones I would need to get up to. You need to get them like 100 opinion for they'll want to make an alliance.
Roger that.
Lucky we have two Xeno Combat, so I can work with both of them this
Roger
turn.
that. Yes, sir.
Some guys from the slave trader.
Yes, sir.
Go over here, we'll get some more guys from the slave trader.
Roger that. Roger that.
Rail's done. So yeah, that's definitely helping a lot with logistics. We got basically green logistics, except for the last smidge out to that one and the last smidge out to that one. So it's definitely helping with getting a lot more stuff on the island, because we've got another 2,200 colonists off. Apparently all from this one, so we're actually back to having problems up here. Over in line top. Probably need to expand the truck station here.
Understood.
Expand the truck station. Lime Top's actually pretty well built up, so let's go ahead and do the same we did on the other island on this island. So we'll build a
Understood.
rail station. We'll build a railhead here,
Understood.
and a railhead here.
Yes.
And a railhead here.
Yes.
And then we'll construct rail all the way across the island. So put a rail backbone in. It'll take 2 turns for the rail hub to be functional, but when it is, that should help a lot with the backbone on the island and allow the trade a little bit more choice on where it can get off the island. And the question is, do you want to bring a 3rd brigade across, or do I think 2 is going to be enough? The answer is probably more the merrier, so let's probably plan on bringing a 3rd one across. Let's bring the 3rd across specifically. Mass upgrade, OHQ, 3 to 4.
Affirmative.
And we get to the strategic moving across. At least as much as we get across. That appears to be the limit for this turn. Do we want to private invest in some zones? How's the quality of life coming along? Capital, pretty still good. But actually, the other way to check is, do we have places that want next? Okay, so you want a scout station to prove yours. Isn't that surprising? That would get you up to probably 400 security points. So let's play a private investment there.
Affirmative.
So hopefully you have the funds for that scout station. You don't want anything, you don't want anything, you don't want anything. You want a scout station in the major city here, yeah. Strat card. Private investment.
Affirmative.
You want an oil well community, not super interested in that. You want a metal mine. I do want your qual to continue going up because you're a fairly large city. So let's go ahead and play it anyway.
Affirmative.
Okay, how is construction coming along? Truck station finished, solar panel finished, serpentization plant finished. So I should continue those constructions. Continue to build things up. We may actually have enough power. Now that I'm thinking about it. Well, actually, we may have enough power once I turn stuff up. So let's expand.
Order
Serpent.
received.
High tech. Full. And we'll continue expanding those energy things anyway.
Order received.
Worst case scenario, it's not needed. Best case scenario, it is needed, and then I'm going to want it done. Okay, so that was most of what was finished. So we just queued a bunch of new stuff. Port's going ahead. Power plant's going ahead. Truck station's going ahead. Okay. And I'm pretty sure we already checked on the... Wait a minute.
Standing by.
We checked on, yeah, on the slave controller. Pretty sure there's someone on the hex. Yeah. Probably almost got the nomad surrendered. Yeah, my planes are a bit on the thirsty side. The old, I think they're the old turboprop planes.
Yes, sir.
Bit fuel thirsty.
Affirmative. Copy that.
Order received.
Capital to 5, sure.
Order received.
predictable decision. Let's offer them tech.
Roger that.
Offer them free tech.
Roger that. Roger that. Affirmative.
We're getting closer. We're up to 84. Well, at this point, we've started to do research into jet efficiency, so they're probably about as thirsty as the jet planes. Just the jet planes carry more. It's kind of the trade-off there. Okay, yeah, so we do have, as much as we can surround the nomads, we have surrounded the nomads. Oh, I don't have the way to cross that road. Okay. Let's bring the command across, but we're not going to bother. What's the efficiency up to? We can check on that. So it's going to be Org, Air Force. We got jet engine efficiency up to 27%. We'll give it a couple more times before we try to redesign our planes with new jet engines. So I think we got the turbojet as well. Yeah, we had the turbojet. So those were designed with the turboprop. Jet engines weren't, for most engines, weren't really an upgrade over the turboprop, but now we have the turbojet. So the turbojet plus the jet efficiency should be getting them pretty efficient. Of course, then I'll have to rebuild all the planes in the new variety, which is a different pain.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Standing by. Roger that. Roger that.
Now, one thing I'm not sure is if you have to have a land border with the Xenos to unify with them. I have only unified with them before when I physically touch them. So this is going to be a slight learning experience. We're going to see if we can get these guys up to 100 opinion before we give up on trying to do it without touching them.
Roger that. Roger that.
Wait, how's the construction going? Everything is proceeding at speed. The railheads are done. The power plant going to power plant 3 is done. That's good. Not with the power plant at 3. I'm not, or power plant going to power plant 2. Power plant at 2. I'm not too worried about the power. We'll see how the power works on the next turn. Because the big thing that I just changed, I'm not sure if it's kicked in yet. No, it has kicked in. Okay, so we're well, we need to see if that power plant makes a big enough difference in the power. Well, and we're working on this urbanization plant, which is the improvement, right? We're not going to build a power plant up again. Unless we're really desperate. So what we're getting with the current power, we're running things at 64% production. We'll see if, with the power plant applied in, if that makes them run a little bit faster. Yeah, we'll see how well we get strategic redeployment. Might have to just be working with the 6th and the 5th here to do this attack, which might be just enough. These guys are not particularly scary in comparison to our guards. Our guards are probably able to do 5v1, and we're going to be more than 5v1ing them. Back around to our turn. 8 decisions. Round 254. Missile launcher, okay.
Roger that.
Order received.
Roger that.
Affirmative.
Affirmative.
Oh, maybe we should check up on the Applied Science Council to make sure they're not over-investing in something.
Affirmative. Roger that. Roger that.
Up to 94. Probably do one more round with them. Mining tech's up to 89. Yeah, probably overinvested a little bit with the Applied Science Council. Time to change what you're researching. Thinking fuel efficiency. Yeah, let's go fuel efficiency. Making motors more efficient will need less fuel.
Affirmative.
Oh, interesting. Can I hide the units for the moment? Okay, we're not quite saturated, but we're getting pretty close to saturating the outflow from the capital. The solution to that is probably upgrade the capital's truck station, well, not truck station, the rail station. It's already got maxed out truck station. So we got those units moved. Try one more cycle on Xeno diplomats. This should bring us up to 100 opinion with them. And then we'll give... Oh no, we only had one normal Xeno diplomat. Okay. So yeah, should bring that one up to 100. We may give them a couple turns before we determine that we need to be a neighbor to them to complete it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Standing by. Roger that. Roger that.
Oh, and we have actually moved into the first place on the podium, so we are the score leader. Now it just comes down to, can we get big enough that we can win? Which I don't think it will be this stream. I think we're going to start the war with the nomads this stream, but I don't think we're going to reach a victory place this stream. A lot more ifs involved in that. Okay, how's the construction going? Everything except for the rail station we just queued up is continuing, full speed. Rail station on Lime Top, which is the middle island, is done. Okay. Check to make sure mining reserves. Do have some mines we can expand in Mooncron and Lime Top. Okay, so we'll do the Lime Top one because it's got the highest accessibility. Forgetting to check up on the mines.
Affirmative.
Yeah, let's just see if we can. Let's see if we can keep number one. Oh, I should get the colonists deployed. Got like 8,000 pops waiting to be assigned somewhere. So to be fair, if we need to get, to unify with them, we need to get neighborship with the aliens. That's not going to be too hard to do, because we can just get a naval transport contract over to one of them, transport like one unit over to get a foothold. Which point then, if we have 100 opinion with them and we need to be neighbors for the alliance, then they should at any point agree to the alliance. But we'll see. Say no, but we got you. You, we need to improve the opinion of.
Order received.
There we go.
Yes.
Now this is going to piss you off. Well, when I pick the wrong option, that's fine.
Affirmative.
I'm going to pick the other option. Which pissed a lot of people off, a very small amount. So we're going to offer them free tech.
Roger that.
So now we have 100 opinion with them. So we're going to give them a couple turns to see if they will ally with us. If not, we'll have to send over a transport contract to get a neighbor effect.
Affirmative.
Okay, and we do have enough for another Zealand diplomat team. Do one over you.
Roger that.
Downtrending a little bit, which is a little worrisome. One solution to that would be to build up something like the gas coal extractor. I think the problem is that we just built up the power plant coming online. It's consuming more power, yeah. We do have a little bit of power shortage still. Paid only 65% of the production cost, so we're only getting like 65% of the power to it. Okay. So yeah, the serpentization plant is probably what we want. Oh, and we did level the zone up to 5, so we can go ahead and pick up the solar field at 5 in the capital. And this location.
Order received.
And this location.
Order received.
Based on the fact that we should have more power coming in, let's go ahead and pick up the expansion on the deep core gas extractor so we can hopefully solve the petrol situation before it gets out of hand. And I got a bunch of colonists. Do I have any places that need colonists? For workers. There, no. 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 Apparently we need 10,000 public jobs here, so let's recruit 10,000 public jobs. Let's start with 1,000, so 10,000 would be that number.
Order received.
At which point we might as well just dump the rest as population, unless we need them someplace else. No, we could use them here. So if we can get them here, not a guarantee. Can't get them there. Okay, let's dump them on the capital end. And let's pop.
Order received.
We are in first, primarily because apparently we have almost half the world's population at this point.
Standing by.
Yes, sir.
Orders.
Yes, sir.
Standing by for orders.
No, not that one. This one.
Standing by. Roger that. Roger that.
Anyway, that zone's getting a little low in happiness. Give some money to the
Order
populace.
received.
We want a little bit bigger effect than that.
Order received.
That helped, but not
Order
enough.
received.
Okay, well, at least up to 60. Stop poking that beast. For the moment. Yeah, we're gonna start a war, I think, next turn. Unless these two units starve to death, we're gonna start the war next turn. some movement there. Don't know if that gave us X's or not. Hard to tell. Because the Xeno troops are not the best of reconnaissance troops. Back onto us, we have 6 decisions.
Copy that. Yes, sir. Understood.
Zoben. We don't have the qual to support that in Zoben, so
Roger
no.
that.
Extend a mine. Offering some
Roger
free
that.
tech. Let's go ahead and get our. While I'm thinking about it,
Yes, sir.
acquire the slaves.
Yes, sir.
Order received.
Standing by. Roger that.
Pull up, get the
Roger
population
that.
growth. Alright, let's finally go ahead and play the minor war card on those guys.
Yes, sir.
So we're now at war with them. Let's pile on in. No return fire expected because it's just vehicles there apparently. Same there. No return fire expected. It's just vehicles.
Engage the enemy. Here's this. Where's Lycus?
Alright, so that was effective. Quickly trying to get the troops to follow up on that attack. Farther north. And then waiting to see if these guys will peacefully sign the alliance, or if I need to be a neighbor to them. I may need to be a neighbor to them. Because every time I've done it in the past, I have been a neighbor. I think it's the event usually where they make the alliance is usually initiated by them, not initiated by you. Hence why I'm not sure.
Understood.
I'm not sure if they're able to initiate events if they're not neighbors.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we got that off. Minor, team diplomat on those guys.
Roger that.
So they're at 100. So, yep. These guys, I think, find them. The map. $66. Okay, so they definitely need a little more time. A little more cooking needs to be done with them. How's the construction coming along? Everything's proceeding. Everything's in the capital also, because we're basically just building everything in the capital at the moment. Things are declining in the capital. Why are things going down? Oh, we just took a happiness hit from the war declaration. That makes sense, because we had a high opinion that people declared on. That makes sense. I've already done that choice. Okay. Don't think we need any more workers in the capital. So just come down to, do I throw them there anyway? We've got... Oh, we don't have a worker shortage there. Okay. We had for a while, but apparently that got dealt with. Doing workers here? No. So I think we're just at the point where we want to try building up cities. So let's dump all these workers in this zone as pop.
Yes, sir.
So this might be... because it's going to take a little while to set up. Let's, first of all, before we lose all the maritime trading contracts, make sure they're not about to expire. None of the ones we have look like they're about to expire, so let's go get a new one. Transfer contract. This zone, because we want to land in there. We'll set that up. We'll see if I can remember to send someone over. And I think I'll do one more turn. We'll go ahead and end this part and end this stream. As apparently I've let this part already go 47 minutes. So I should probably stop the stream somewhere in around about the 5-hour mark on my usual 3 to 4 hour stream. So the game's been enjoyable. I've been playing longer than I probably should be. So I hope everyone that's been watching, regardless of whether you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, have been enjoying watching along. Okay, they attacked Mercs, attacking the Mercs. The Mercs aren't having the best of days, apparently. On the other hand, I'm not too worried about the Mercs getting circled, so...
Acknowledged. Confirm orders.
Yes. Yes.
Transfer contract meeting. As long as you're somewhere in Mammoth's territory, that's probably fine. Yeah. You'll do somewhere in the middle. Like so. From the capital, please. Yeah, small amount for a long period of time, please.
Roger that.
Okay, that's the advance on the aliens. Yeah, so they did some pretty heavy damage to the mercs, and if the mercs were worried about being surrounded, that would have been a problem for the mercs, but otherwise we've basically broken into all the encirclements, so it's not a real problem.
Standing
Yes,
by
sir.
for orders.
Yes, sir.
Standing by. Roger that. Roger that.
Yeah, we're in second. Not in a position in second, or we're in first. We're not in a position in first yet to actually win, but we're decently close. Since the indulgent team off to this one.
Roger that.
Construction-wise, I think we're only working in the capital at this point, yeah. A couple things got a little bit of delayed, which isn't ideal. Sweeping, mining, anything empty. Expanded, yeah. In Moncrun, there is one mine. Could be expanded.
Affirmative.
And a little bit disappointing is that our old rare earth mine here has depleted. It's empty. And as a side effect, the mine that was there has that we set up there has gone away. I'm just going to hold on to the last 29 political power. A little bit worrisome is because of the heavy construction I'm doing, we are burning through our metal. And the production of that is gone down quite a bit. We're having power issues over here, which is affecting the mine. I suppose I could expand the organic furnace here. Let's build that organic furnace.
Roger that.
One of the old organic furnaces. That's still expandable. Anyway, we're having power problems over here. Solved the power problems over here, but I think we have the power problems solved here just because we have an organic... No, the organic furnace is gone. It did finish burning all its stuff down. Okay, so I don't necessarily know why that one's not having power problems, but yeah. We're going to try to slowly work through the power problems and the future problems in the future episodes. I could probably save a decent amount of power if I just turn the high-tech down. Again, let's turn it down to 50% and see how that works over the next couple parts. We'll see if I remember I turned it down. Got that guy encircled, so if that guy doesn't break out, we'll probably crush him. We got that guy encircled. That guy doesn't break out, we'll probably crush him, and then we'll focus them down into this bit over here for our armies to continue advancing into. If we solve the power problem, then we'll probably start getting the metal flowing reasonably well again from the demilitarization mine. We are providing like 70% of its needs, so it's getting like 70% of the metal that we want. And yeah, at the end of this episode, it will be a little bit higher because we just bought like 4,000 population, but we're sitting at 34.2%, roughly at the end of round 257. Brazier's commune is, and I suppose we can check and see if they currently are, is frequently willing to do victory pacts, and they're currently willing to do the victory pact. So we could, if we wanted to Diplo victory, try to sign a victory pact with them. That would bring us up to 44.2, which isn't currently enough to win. Also, it's not 25 more than Brunderstein here. So that's actually going to be probably the hard bit right now, is actually getting Brunderstein suppressed enough that we can win over them. I'm thinking getting to 50% is actually going to be fairly easy at this point. Might be a little bit tedious and take quite a while, but getting there is not going to be hard, because we're just going to keep growing and growing and growing in population. But the question is, how are we going to get them to shrink? And they've been shrinking, because as our population grows, one of the ways our population grows is from people migrating away from their places into our places. So, for example, this is a Brundosine colony. Presumably they're throwing population every once in a while over here to try to keep these, whatever, they keep their cities reasonably functioning. That could, in theory, migrate into the city. Not currently migrating to the city is just growing by natural growth. But if we get the city happy enough, that could be a place they could migrate into. They're migrating to Dionysus Ocean. I'm not surprised they're going to Dionysus Ocean, but that's fine. Increased natural growth, increase from migration colonies, increase from the slave trader event. Oh, and I have colonists to put somewhere, so we can drop the colonists here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we're slowly growing everything. May at some point want to try to grow Kit a bit. And yeah, if we can solve the power problem once and for all, I think we will be able to make our zones much happier. Because yeah, that's what's affecting some of those. Like, this is what's affecting this zone. This zone's having quality issues simply because the universities and stuff are not powered up properly. But yeah, and then also from a territory standpoint, a lot of the unclaimed territory is in the two remaining Xeno miners. So we some R2 together here, so that's 67, 77, 87. So, what, about 5% of the victory score maybe is in the miners? Unless I'm screwing with the math somewhere. Summing them wrong. So would that bring a 53? 61, 65, 95. Okay, yeah, so something like 5% of the victory score is probably in the miners. So we can simply just get those miners to grow into us. That'll be another 5%. And then yeah, we're just trying to get population off these guys. And Brunner's done because they've been everywhere, and they're so big. We do actually share a land border with them, so they've got a pretty major city here that we could take. We got another major city over here that we could take. We got a major city over here we could take. So we might end the game by attacking these guys. We'll see. That'll probably be, well, that won't be this stream. That'll probably be next stream. So I hope everyone has been enjoying. If you have any questions in the Twitch chat, now is probably a good time to put them in the Twitch chat. I'll answer as soon as I end the YouTube recording. If you're watching on YouTube, feel free to leave any questions or comments in the comment section. I do try to respond to all of them if they're actual questions. So until next time, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.